like when I do it because for the first like minute it's on you. No, actually it's on me.
Yeah, you do it on you, and then I'll.
Both on me. I gotta spin it. Spin it. Now it's half on you, half on me. Spin it. All right.
It's like zoomed out.
Oh, my head looks good. Shiny as shit. Can't see how many.
Oh, let me move it. Shit. I don't have enough hands. All right. We can wait a minute.
Sylvia's watching from above.
She's your biggest fan.
I love it. She is my biggest fan. Cheers, guys. We're gonna wait 2 more minutes just to get a couple more people on. Maybe I can get Ryan to give me some gloves. There you go. Give me a box of gloves. Quick, please. Thank you, Sam. Love you, Sam.
Do a dance or sing a song
No, I
or
don't
something.
dance. I don't dance. Carmen, what's up, my man? How are you? I missed you. You should have been here. Salud. Damn, that was quick, Sam. All right, guys, let's get started. So, one of my favorite things ever, chicken cutlets. Okay, so for me, this is super special because all I remember is eating this as a kid, right? So my mom would make them on special occasions, and she would literally fry them, and then you would have these little like pieces of paper in between, and just soaking up all the oil. But it was like so good. You would go in there and you would rip some off, and it was absolutely incredible. So this one's like near and dear, and every single Italian person you meet says they make the best chicken cutlets. But I'm going to show you how to do it the right way, and then you can try it at home. So let's get all of our dry ingredients prepped first, all right? So first things first is we start with our first bowl, okay? Use regular AP flour, super simple, a little bit of flour in your bowl. Set that aside. Get another bowl, and let's set up the rest of our dry ingredients. So I'm gonna start with some Panko breadcrumbs. You could use seasoned regular breadcrumbs, that's fine. You don't have to use Panko if you don't want to. I like the Progresso brand as well, it's really, really good. Then we're gonna do Parmesan cheese. This is my key. I love Parmesan cheese in there because I love that like little burnt Parmesan flavor that you put in there. And then what we're gonna do, which a lot of people don't, which is super important to me, is you season every part of this, all right? So we're gonna season the salt. We're gonna season the flour, and then we're gonna season the breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese, okay? I want to put that aside for a second. Now, obviously, the most important part, or this ain't gonna stick together, is the eggs, okay? So, whole eggs we do. I'm gonna do 3 here. I'm gonna make a couple more than you guys are, so I'm gonna use 3 eggs. All right, then you do a little bit of salt. And then I add a little bit of water to this, okay? So probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons of water in there, because what's gonna happen is once I mix this together, if I didn't put water in there, this will never get a full smooth consistency that we're looking for. It's gonna have that weird clunkiness to it. So first things first, stir your flour because you just added your salt. Give your breadcrumbs, your Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of salt, a little stir as well, because you want this all really, really nice. All right, set that there. And then last thing, mix all your eggs with your water, okay? So give that a nice mix till it's completely mixed together. All right. All right, now that's done. Let's set this all aside. We're gonna come back to this in a second, okay?
Can you use milk instead of water?
You could use milk. I just really like to use water. I just think the consistency is a little bit better, but if you want to use milk, that's fine. Not a big deal at all. Now let's get our chicken ready, okay? So I bought boneless, skinless chicken breasts, right? I got mine from, I guess, Publix. I sent Ryan, our general manager, there, so I don't really know where he goes shopping these days. And then we're gonna cut these guys in half, right? Because the whole part about chicken cutlets is you want them to be nice and thin, okay? So open up your container. This knife's super sharp, so we don't really have to do that much work to these. Right onto your cutting board, right? And then we're gonna clean these up a little bit, right? So this right here, this is the fat, you don't want that. So we're gonna clean that up a touch. Same thing here. Give it a little cut, clean that up. So now, I don't throw this away. This is what I use in my chicken stock. So whenever we make chicken stock, I'll use that, right? Or if you wanna make some chicken fat to cook with, you could always render that down and make some chicken fat to cook with. But I like to have my chicken cutlets be relatively on the leaner side, okay? So clean it up, don't have really much fat on here, maybe a touch more cleaning up there. Now, chicken breast. You want the really smooth side up. Take your knife, find a halfway point, put your hand on top, and then starting with the bottom of your knife, you're gonna literally slice right through the chicken without sawing, okay? Just like that. So now you have two pieces that are that size right there. So this one's a little bit thinner because I want a little bit lopsided, and that one's a little bit thicker, but this one's gonna just be a bigger piece of cutlet, okay? Same thing with this guy here. Start here, and you're basically gonna cut right through that guy just like that. So you have that piece, and then you have that piece, all right? Now, clean up your knife because you don't want that chicken stuff on your knife, and we're gonna sanitize that later. So now, what I do, guys, is I take either a piece of plastic wrap or this right here. This is the bags that we use to basically store all of our pasta that we make every day. So I'm gonna put those in between. So one piece of chicken there, cover it just like that. All right, get all the air out of it because then you don't want to be pounding air. You want to actually be pounding the chicken itself. Hey, Sydney, I miss you too. All right, now, so when I pound my chicken cutlets, right, I start on the edges, right? I start on the edge and I pull towards me. So you can see I'm hammering this way as I'm hammering towards me. Then when I get to this point, I hammer out. So I do this motion here or this motion here. I don't hit directly in the middle because it doesn't do anything. There's a lot of meat there and there's a lot of tendon and muscle there. And you have to start with the edges, right? Just like this. And then out that way. And I say it every time, it's not a race. If it's a race you're gonna lose, and you don't wanna lose this race, right? Because cutlets are so good. And then pound it out, just like that. So towards me, away from me. Towards me, away from it, all right? Then I'll flip that guy over. Same thing. Away, towards. So you end up with basically a 1/2 inch thick piece of chicken, just like that, okay? Put that back in your plastic and then set that aside. We're gonna come back to that in a second, okay? So I'm drinking Negronis tonight. So equal parts gin, Campari, and vermouth. Absolutely incredible. This is because Carmen's not here with me tonight. He's watching instead of actually being here, so I'm gonna drink this one for him, okay? So, this is a perfect time to get caught up on all this, right? Because we're basically doing this in stages. I know a lot of you guys say I go too fast, so this is me slowing down. The problem with me going slower, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, is that everything we do on a fast pace at the restaurant, right? The minutes I slow this down is when I probably will run into mistakes. For instance, cutting my finger, which I don't wanna do on camera, right? Hitting myself in the hand with this guy, which I don't want to do. This is the movement we've been doing for so long that it's kind of hard to tell somebody to slow it down, okay? So same thing, hammering out, hammering towards you, out, towards you.
So why do you use that side as opposed to the other side?
I don't like to use this side at all. This side is where this wood really tenderizes. This will flatten it. So at the end, you could go back, and if you want to get rid of all those grooves, I really like those grooves because I want all of that breadcrumb to get soaked up in there because I like all those little pieces of breadcrumb and flour that's left at the end. So I just really like texture when it comes to food. Same thing, to you, away from you. All right, set that guy aside. Same thing with these. thing. Towards and away. So you don't want to go too thin. If you go too thin, the chicken starts to break on you and it becomes very hard to cook later, okay? You want to leave at least a half an inch thick. You can go a little thicker if you want. Some of you guys like the meatier texture of the chicken, that's fine. I like the bread. My favorite part of the chicken cutlet is the breadcrumbs, right? The chicken, I don't even care about. I'd rather just fry some breadcrumbs, all right? Same thing. Flip this guy over.
So would your mom make chicken cutlets when she was mad at you to get her anger out?
Probably, yeah, because she probably wanted to get her anger out with this, right? Makes a lot of sense. All right, so chicken's done, all right? So now we're gonna get this part ready. So while that's getting ready, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna get my pan hot, okay? So what I like to do is actually not get my pan hot at all because I'm gonna show you guys a technique that I like. I'm just gonna get the oil in the pan. Do not turn your heat on yet. I'm frying an extra virgin. You can fry anything you want. For me, extra virgin has the cleanest flavor to it. That's why I like to fry with extra virgin. But I understand if you guys don't want to fry with it, that's probably like $7 worth of extra virgin olive oil. So I get it. But I really like the way it tastes when you fry an extra virgin, all right? So let's get the chickens breaded. So now I'm gonna set up a breading station. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Hi, Sam. All right, so we're gonna set up a breading station now. So we go in order: flour, egg, breadcrumb, okay? Flour, egg, breadcrumb, just like this, all right? So you start with this side, one piece of your chicken, season one side, pick your chicken up, flip it over, season the other side, all right? We don't go a ton of seasoning, just enough because we seasoned every other part of this. Now, flour first, completely coated in flour. You should be able to see no raw chicken underneath you. All you should see is flour. Then egg. I like the maneuver of you send it in one end and then pull it out the other. Just like that, and it's completely coated in egg. And then right into your breadcrumb and Parmesan cheese mixture. Now this part is my favorite because I really like to make sure that this is completely coated, right? So I really get in there and press this down now. All right, just like that, flip it over, really press this down, over again. Really get this to be where you want it to be, right? And you can set that guy aside for later. Now, we're gonna do the same thing with the other three. Season both sides. Flour first. All right, then your egg. Then your breadcrumb. Same thing, flip it over, and then really get that breadcrumb in there, right? Because we really want to fry this up nice. We want to make sure there's no like raw chicken flavor on there. You want to actually taste all that breadcrumb, especially with all this beautiful Parmesan cheese in here, right? That guy. Then we're gonna go to the next one, and we're gonna do all four of these, all right? So now is that perfect time to ask those questions, guys, because obviously you could do this at your own speed. You don't have to do it at the speed I'm doing. Again, I've been making chicken cutlets since literally I was 5. So obviously I'm gonna be doing these a little faster than you guys. So if you have questions, now's the time, right? Great time in the background. They are having a good time in the background, Betty. How you doing, my man? You told me you were coming to visit me in Atlanta. When you coming? Bring Biggs with you. All right. Just like that. That guy down. And then we do the last one, all right? Just like that. All right, so now if any of you guys were paying attention, Hood brother, Max and I are trying to figure out a weekend. Please do, bro. I don't do the buttermilk soap. Isabel, how are you? Tommy, my man, I don't do the buttermilk soak because for me that's fried chicken. This is different, right? So like if I was doing fried chicken, I was gonna do bone in, bone in thighs, and I was gonna fry them. I would do it a little bit differently. I would do soaked overnight in buttermilk, then take it out and do it. But this is the Italian style, not the Southern style. So for me, I do it like this, right? You don't really need for it to be soaking. You just want to get that nice and crispy on the outside. So you're not really spending a lot of time, you know, kind of really incorporating that buttermilk flavor into the chicken. You don't really need to have it. All right, a few more. Just like that. All right, now put that down. And now we're gonna toss all of our ingredients away because we don't need these anymore. And you guys know how I am, and I like to be clean as we go. So this is the time we clean. All right, and get all of this breadcrumb that I made a complete disaster with out of the way. Just like that, all right? Now is the time we're gonna fry this. So oil in the pan, right? We're gonna do these one at a time. So you can see I do this technique. I go cold oil. I don't go hot oil, okay? Because I want an even color on this fry. I don't want to see it fried, you know, dark on one side and not dark on the other. I want to make sure that this is a nice even fry, okay? So just like that, cover this guy, press it down, make sure this guy's working, and then we're gonna get it super hot first, and you're gonna see we're gonna turn it down in a second, all right? Because again, we want to do a nice even fry. So we have two here, so we're gonna do two at the same time, all right? And then we're gonna use one of these pans because I have a surprise for you guys at the end where I could show you guys how quickly this could turn into something else instead of it being just chicken cutlets, right? Because chicken cutlets is one of those things where Italians started with this and then ended up doing something else, right? So we're gonna take this guy, fry that guy too. All right, nice cold oil, okay? Don't go hot. And we're gonna turn this down in a second. Once you start seeing it get hot, we're gonna turn it down. This is a perfect time for a nice break for a Negroni. Cheers. Now, you'll see, Bree, in a second you'll see, this is not gonna be oily at all. We test ran one before, and Amelia can tell you it wasn't greasy by any means at all. All right, because what's gonna happen, this is quickly gonna get super hot. But this is how you even color when you fry anything, right? You start with something cold. Same reason why when I boil potatoes for stuff, I put all of my potatoes in cold water and then I boil it, right? Because you want an even cooking. And this is gonna evenly color all of this breadcrumb and also evenly cook your chicken. I'm gonna bring this guy over because I feel like we're out of the picture here. Bree, anytime, that's what I'm here for. All right. This guy's gonna take a little bit more, but you can see it's already starting, right? So it's starting to get some nice sear on it, and you can see it's not gonna stick to the bottom of the pan, right? So because I want an even color and I don't wanna burn anything, I'm gonna turn this heat down to about a medium high, okay? I don't need it to be ripping hot. We're not trying to get this cooked right away again. It's not a race. Turn this guy down a touch. And you're just gonna let that fry, all right? Now, I'm gonna get something else ready for you guys because it's gonna take a little bit of time, but this is just me showing you guys a couple things that we're gonna do. So later on, after this is all done, we're gonna do our cutlets. After that, I'm gonna show you how to do chicken Milanese. And after that, we're gonna do a real quick play on a chicken Parmesan, the way I like to eat chicken Parm, okay? So for the Milanese, a couple greens, right? We're using baby gem here, nothing too crazy, right? Then I like to take some herbs. I really like flavor in my salads, right? I always put herbs in my salads. I just like that, like, you know, really quick explosive flavor of something else, whether it's an herb or, you know, some sort of vinaigrette or something like that. So I put a little bit of mint. I'm gonna put a little bit of parsley in here. I just really like herbs a lot in just a lot of things, so I'm gonna utilize this, right? Just like that. A few herbs there. We're gonna throw some arugula in here. I love arugula. And then we're gonna take some basil leaves, because I mean, I'm Italian, right? My last name ends in a vowel, so I feel like basil is like what my bones are made up of. So we're gonna throw some of these in here. All right, just like that. Maybe a few more of these parsley and a few more basil. Just like that, all right? So now we're gonna check our chicken for the first time. So I can see it's getting a little bit of color, so I'm gonna get my tongs underneath. I'm gonna give it a little flip. I'm gonna wait another second because it's not ready yet. We do the same thing here. Give it a check where we're at. needs another minute as well, right? Let that go. As we're doing that, we're gonna take our knives and I'm gonna cut some red onion, okay? Because I love red onion with my chicken cutlets. So I go nice and thin. Again, we're not chopping, we slice our onions, all right? Because again, Amelia, as she can tell you, there's no crying and cooking, all right? She probably heard me say that 150,000 times already, so.
It's a catchphrase.
It's a catchphrase, right? It works. All right, that goes in there. Then we're gonna set this guy aside because we're gonna come back to that. All right, chicken, time to flip. Get underneath. Flip it over. Beautiful, even cooked on that. Same thing with this guy. Underneath, flip it over. Beautiful, even cooked, all right? So now at this point, our chicken's basically almost 100% cooked, right? Now we're basically just trying to finalize searing on one side. So I can move them together in the same pan at this point. I don't really have to worry about it, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this heat off for a second, right? There's a lot of oil in this one, so I'm actually gonna move some of that oil over. And you basically just wanna chill this down for a second, right? Because we're gonna go back in here with more chicken. Cheers. Sue, my man, I know, dude. It runs in the family, the handsomeness. Not that guy, though. Hey, Ryan. Ryan's the one that got me the shitty chicken earlier from Publix.
Hey, it's great chicken.
Yeah, guys, please. We need to get Ryan some new shoes.
Come on.
Can we please get him some new shoes? All right. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back into this oil now. The oil's chilled down a little bit.
Real Estate Jojo said, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Negroni. So equal parts gin, Campari, and vermouth. All right, that one's gonna go. We're gonna cook this one a little bit longer on this side. Sam, can you do me a favor? Can you grab me a small tea tray with a resting rack, please? And can you bring this downstairs? Jesus Christ. My God.
Everyone wants to go fund me for Ryan's shoes.
Yeah, guys, please, we need to do that. Please, we need to get him some shoes ASAP. Can somebody start one up, please? I'll put the first 200 in. If everybody else wants to keep doing it, can we do $1,000? Because we need to get him some real shoes. He doesn't have enough. Poor guy's a general manager of one of the busiest restaurants in Atlanta and is rocking what my grandfather used to wear. All right, we're gonna let that guy keep going. So guys, again, slow and slow. You don't want to rush this, all right? Can't rush perfection. I'm gonna check the bottom real quick, see where we're at. I mean, you can already see that it's cooked. Look at that. That's beautiful. I'm gonna flip this guy over so you can see the bottom of this guy. That's perfect. So now, when Sam comes upstairs with my resting rack, I'm gonna show you guys. I like to rest my chicken cutlets for a little bit for a few reasons. My mom used to do it in between paper towel. I like to do it where it continuously gets crispy as it goes, because as it cools down a little bit, it'll get a little bit crispier. If I do it that way. If I put it on actual paper towels, it actually gets a touch soggy, so I'm not looking for that. All right, I'm gonna turn this off now because I don't need that one anymore. And this one's still doing its thing. Now we're gonna give it a test and see where we're at. So it needs a little bit more time. We're not there yet. Beautiful. All right.
Ilese said she wishes her husband would cook this for her.
Ilese, listen. I will make this for you anytime you need, okay? Carmen, I got Campari. They brought me some. I told you, thought you were coming today and you didn't come, but I bought the Campari for you. Only for you, I promise. Nobody else allowed to have it but you. All right, we're gonna do the same thing in this one, guys. Get that chicken in there. Oil always away from you because we're not trying to burn each other here. And then we're gonna kick this up nice and low, or if I'm out of gas. Out of gas. Oh no, hold on. There you go. Nice and low, okay? Take a look at this guy, where we're at for color. Go a little bit longer. Now, as soon as that comes out, we're gonna season it one more time, all right? So we're gonna hit it with a little bit more salt on there, just like that. We season at every part of cooking, guys. We try not to forget seasoning ever, all right? Again, it's one of those things where you season a little bit at a time. You don't go too heavy in the beginning, right? If you go too heavy in the beginning, you can't take it out. But if you go nice and easy, nice and slow, then you could you know, season as you go. All right, let's see where this guy's at. Almost there. I'm gonna pick up the heat just a little bit. So guys, also, as this goes, right? So I cooked that probably to about medium rare to medium, right? Right where the chicken needs to be. Now, as it's sitting here, right? It's getting crispier because it's not sitting inside paper towels, but on top of it, it continues to cook. It doesn't stop cooking, right? For the next 5 or 6 minutes, that's gonna continue to cook. So now let's take this guy, let's give it a nice flip. Nice even color on that guy, just like that. That's what we're looking for. Sam, you paying attention, Sam? Good, because in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna go sit down and you're gonna finish cooking, all right? Negroni break. Carmen, thank you, man. I do want to see you. I need you here all the time. I'll bring the baby. Yes, Alicia, please bring the baby. Somebody starting to GoFundMe? What are we doing? You have some time before I finish this. All right, we're gonna put some of that oil in there because this one's almost done, so we don't need that much oil in here anymore. We're gonna let these guys finish cooking, all right? I'm gonna check this, even though I know we're not anywhere near. Tone that down just a little bit. So it's a good time, guys. Again, ask questions, right? I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. You don't really have to worry. You know, you really can't screw this up at this point. The only way you can screw this up is if you go to the bathroom right now. Because if you come back and these things are burnt, I don't want you blaming me, all right? Just like the risotto we did a couple weeks back. It's a labor of love. You gotta sit here and watch it. You gotta talk to it. Chicken. You look fantastic. I can't wait to eat this. It's amazing. God, you're so beautifully golden brown and delicious. These are the conversations you need to have with your chicken, all right?
Uh-oh. What kind of shoes you got?
Dude, I got some Birkenstocks, my man. Let me show you these guys, all right? I bought these when we opened the restaurant, specifically because they're white and I didn't want to get flour on my black shoes, all right? So I wear the Birks. They're beautiful. They're comfortable. All right, check this guy real quick. We're done there. Now, turn off your heat. And we're gonna pour this out right in there, right? Because we're gonna use this pan again in a second. I'll show you what we're gonna do with that in a second. We'll let this go a little bit more. So I don't need you guys using 15 pans throughout the day, so you can use one at a time. So literally, if you're only frying 2 pieces of chicken, you could have just used 1 pan for this entire thing. I'm gonna let that sit for a second, right? I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do with that in a second. Now, we're gonna give this guy a look where we're at. Almost there. We're gonna season that other piece of chicken just like that. I'm gonna let this guy go. Now, the other surprise, guys, is chicken parm, right? So we're gonna do my version of a chicken parm. So we're gonna get that ready. All right, so this time, heat on high. As it heats on high, we're gonna hit this with some olive oil. All right. Then we're gonna come over here, we're gonna grab some garlic. We're gonna do 2 pieces, just like this. We're gonna do our knife nice and sanitized, so we're not worried about this. Then we're gonna do nice thin slices of garlic, just like this, all right? Again, as you can see, I was pulling away or going forward. I'm never chopping this way. I want all the oil that's in this garlic. I don't want to lose it on my cutting board, okay? Right into the pan. Take a little bit of garlic. a little bit of basil. That's gonna go in the pan. And we're gonna take a few pieces of chili flakes. We know the chili flakes here at Grana are spicy, so we're not gonna go too crazy. Let's see where this chicken's at. Perfectly golden brown. We're gonna flip that guy over and let that cook. Now, as this is toasting, this is how I make my chicken parm, okay? I'm not a huge tomato sauce on my chicken parm guy. I actually like to use fresh tomatoes. And I throw the fresh tomatoes in there, just like that. All right? So, turn your heat down. Really, really low. You're trying to fry these tomatoes now, okay? You don't want to burn anything else that's in here as you're doing it. So, while that's happening, you go in here and you give it a nice push with your spoon, all right? Because all that sauce is going to start coming out of these tomatoes. All right, so give them a nice push down, just like that. You could have squeezed it before you put in. It's up to you. I just like to get my tomatoes nice and fried first before I start squeezing out all the juice. All right, and then again, first time the season is right now. All right. Squeeze that down. And they start to blister on their own as well, so you don't got to go too crazy with them. And they'll start to pop open. Get nice and low, okay? So we're done with this, we're done with this. We're gonna use the rest of this stuff up. Take a look at this guy, where we're at. Still needs more time. Give a nice little shake. It's not stuck to the bottom. Give this a nice toss. We're gonna keep checking back on this guy, right? Because you want these tomatoes to start blistering on you and then pop. All right, because you're basically creating a nice sauce a la minute, on the minute, as we go. See that? That tomato exploded. All right. This guy's trying to run away from me. All right, got that one. All right. Last tomato right here. We're gonna pop this guy, just like that. Now you're basically gonna start making your little tomato sauce, all right? You're gonna let that cook. Again, it's not a race, guys. We say it all the time. Clean this guy here. You get this all cleaned up and ready. Same with now, it's gonna come and take all this money. No, take it home. We got plenty of time. All right. That looks good. All right, let's check our chicken cutlet. Almost there. Got another 30 seconds and we're good. All right, we're gonna throw a little more seasoning in this tomato sauce. And again, give it a nice little smash, right? You want all that beautiful juice in there. I don't care about the skin. The skin's gonna add a lot of flavor to this time. We'll see in a second. All right, first time we're gonna taste. Damn. Damn, you have no idea. It's like I do this shit for a living thing. All right, chicken's done. We're gonna put that guy down. Get rid of this oil without burning Amelia. All right, that guy's off. Season your last piece of chicken, all right? Now, obviously here we're in a restaurant, so we're gonna do ours a little differently, but this is how we serve our chicken cutlets whenever they're on the menu. So we're gonna take a piece of lemon, cut the side off just like that. We're gonna use the rest of that lemon in a second. We're gonna take this chicken, 2 pieces, because that's what we used to do for an order, just like that. And this is the part that I loved as a kid, all right? So, olive oil, good amount, put it on there. Don't worry about it, it's still gonna be crispy, all right? Lots of cheese. This was my favorite part as a kid. Tons and tons of cheese. And then get your lemon and squeeze it right over the top, just like that. All right? Then if you wanted a little bit more for later, here's another piece. And that's literally the entire thing. That's how we eat it as a kid, just like that. Super simple chicken cutlets, all right? Now we're gonna take it and we're gonna make something else with it, because look how easy this is. You go from that to this guy here. We're gonna take the rest of this lemon, we're gonna take the edges off. All right, we're trying to stay away from the seeds. We're gonna squeeze that lemon in that salad we made earlier. Just like this. We're gonna take some salt and season, because I don't know where you guys shop, but my stuff doesn't come seasoned, right, Sam? right? I mean, what's the last time you went to the store and your lettuce greens came seasoned? Doesn't happen, right? That's it. Give your salad a nice toss. All that beautiful baby gem there. Got that olive oil, the lemon juice, your red onion, all those herbs. You got your arugula. All right. Let's give this guy a taste. Got to get all the pieces in. A little more olive oil. All right. A little more salt here. Just like that. Now, let's take our other piece of chicken. Take that guy over. Down on the plate. Take our salad. Just like this. Now, you could easily drizzle this with a little bit of balsamic if you want. It's up to you, all right? This is how I like it. Nice and simple, okay? So now this, hit it with a little bit of olive oil on the chicken. A little bit more on there. And then Parmesan cheese over all of it. All right, so now this, when you go to a restaurant, this is chicken Milanese, okay? Chicken with salad. Fried chicken cutlet with a salad. Super simple, so that's two. Then, my absolute favorite, right? Take your chicken on the middle of the plate. Take these beautiful tomatoes that I made, because now you can see it's a nice sauce with a decent amount of oil in there. This is exactly how I want it to look. I don't want it to be too saucy. I just want it to be saucy enough. Right on the chicken, just like that. All right, and then the pride and joy of Puglia, burrata, right? Nice big bowl of burrata right on top, just like this. Open it up. Parmesan. Salt on the cheese. And then the pride and joy of Italian cuisine, some beautiful olive oil right on top, just like this. So guys, literally in 2 minutes, we went from, hit it with some black pepper before I finalize this. So now, we went from chicken cutlets to chicken Milanese to chicken Parm, my way, not the way you get it at every shitty Italian restaurant in the city. You have the real way you do chicken Parm. Just like that, guys. Super simple. Bowl of burrata, some cherry tomatoes, a lot of garlic, some herbs. Beautiful salad with chicken cutlets with lemon. Incredible. Guys, look how easy that was. Please, please, please. Do I see burnt garlic in that pan? Mark, don't talk shit, Mark. I'll never come visit you in Greenville, my man. Guys, super simple, 3 quick dishes just like that. I'm gonna make sure that whenever we do the YouTubes moving forward, we'll have some ingredients on there for you guys so you can have that ahead of time. Thank you for everybody that's been listening to the podcast. The last few have been some of my favorites, so thank you so much. Yeah, and that's it. I got nothing else. Thank you. I'll see you guys next week.